this church, you all. They look alive. They do. There's something strange. There's movement in these walls inside this church in Delgado. I think it's Delgado. There's some things moving in there. And you can see it's not just random. No, there's stuff happening inside this church. Is what's going on the walls. It's like the walls have came alive. And you can see see that like green stuff? That's the other dimension. That's what it looks like, the other dimension right here. And these are the walls of this church. And someone may say, well, you know, it's the camera. It's supposed to look like that. It's supposed to have all this movement. Is it supposed to have all the walls are supposed to be moving like this? It's like the walls are animated. The walls are alive inside this church is what it's like. I want to show you what it looks like. Normal. I was really tired. Nothing. I'm just going to lay here, and I don't even feel like doing a video, but then I decided, well, I want to look on my laptop because it's always relaxing. But then I saw this. There's no way that this is normal. You know that saying, if the walls could talk. Look at this. This whole entire church, the walls are moving. They've came alive. It's like the other dimension has taken hold inside this church. It's constant changing. It's a really pretty church. It really is. Let me show you. It's really pretty before the camera went out. So let's see. I don't even know what. It's the altar. It's the altar. And I don't mean no disrespect. I really no disrespect at all. I'm just thinking there's something's going on and it doesn't look normal to me. It looks really beautiful. It does. Let's watch it spin. See how pretty it looks inside the church. It does. It looks beautiful. It's got gold in it and gold on the walls and red velvet and all of this kind of stuff inside the church, inside the sanctuary. And this is really like the first live webcam I think I've found inside a church where you can rewind backwards. This is the first one. I don't know what the statue is inside of here, but it's pretty. It's really pretty, you all. So I thought it's Connexcel. Let me see. So we was down here looking. That's what we were doing. And then, you know, it decided it's going into night mode. It's all night. It's night mode. And you can barely see it. You see the walls are already starting to move with the night mode. They don't move in the daytime. But when the nighttime comes, they come alive. I've got this slowed down to 0.25 is what I've got this slowed down to. And it's like everything is alive. I've not seen this on a webcam before, you. I really have not. And that's why I'm doing this video. I haven't seen this before. Yeah, I haven't. If I put it normal speed, these things they're going to be moving really, really fast. The walls are going to move fast. I mean, whatever's inside these, in this place, they're going to move super, super fast. So I slowed it down. And part of me, they remind me partly of the cubes a tad bit. But then I see the other dimension. The smeary stuff is from the other dimension. What are they doing inside this church? Really ask yourself. Why are they in here? Because they're clearly in here. And I'm not sure what they're doing. Or I'm really not sure what they're doing. They're all in the walls. Let me brighten this up a tad bit so you can see it. You see the movement. Well, you know, it also reminds me of Romania. Remember when I was watching the Hydra? There was some of this like other dimension showing up in there, but I don't know. Not sure what they're doing. It looks totally, totally different. Yeah, totally, totally different. Inside this church, inside the walls at night. I want to see if there's any pattern, because it's the one thing to do is to observe and see if you see a single pattern repeating itself in one location. And I don't. I see individual movements. It's, I don't know what they're doing. It's rather unsettling, you all. It really is. They're right with... Hope I'm not getting sick to my stomach. I hope I'm not. Now, there are people who can feel energy, and their body tells them when they encounter certain types of energy. Well, oh, yeah, we got the filter. Let's look. Thanks for talking about that filter. So I'm going to do the filter. I'm going to go through all the filters on here. Let's just zoom up on one spot. Let's go through the filters. See what we can see. Okay, this don't have infrared, but it's got filters on it. Well, it's not bubbles. I don't think there's space aliens in there. This is, see, it's still happening, and this ain't even really dark at night yet. It's not dark at night. We haven't got to the inverted mode yet. That's silver. This is the inverted mode right here. So let's look at it in the inverted mode and see. I gotta study this. I gotta, because I've seen it before. I've seen these before. And I'm not just saying that. I have seen them before. We've seen them in the clouds. They are in the clouds also. This looks like them, you all. It really does. If you remember zooming up on the clouds, this looks like them. If you look at the white, ancient, yes, they are moving. This is the inverted mode right here. They do. They look like they do. They remind me of the clouds, because when we would zoom up on the clouds, these beings would be in the clouds. Let's find an area, because there's really lots of movement taking place. And this is slowed down. If we were to put this in normal mode, didn't we see things shooting across? That's what the clouds do too, you all. They shoot things across. I just want to make it quite clear, I do not mean any disrespect at all. None. I am just observing, because I have never in my life seen this type of activity inside of a building, let alone a church building. But they really do appear to me as what's in the clouds. Now we can go back to the normal mode so those can see what the normal mode looks like. This is the normal mode right here. This is them in the normal mode. You can see them moving around. And it doesn't appear to be super dark at night yet. But when it gets dark, you can see down below, when it gets really dark, they really pick up. Oh, they're really moving now. Okay, watch them. They're really moving now. It's like, what are they? Let's see about the inverted mode now. Okay. What are they doing in the church? Really ask yourself, what are they doing inside the church? Working on a molecular level. That is a good way to put it, Neil. It really is. Working on a molecular level. Okay, you know how on The Lord of the Rings, when Aragorn goes into the mountain and he says, I summon you to fulfill your vows, and all of a sudden the walls light up. And then you can see all the spirits of all the people. They come out of the walls. Remember that? Harvesting energy. That's a good thought. That really is a good thought. Harvesting energy. And you can see when we first looked at it, there was not as many, the other dimension was not as thick up here as it is now. It slowly got that way. The darker it got, because look at that. The darker it got. But look, it's really beautiful in the daytime mode. This is the daytime mode. This is what it's going to look like. Daytime, and there is no movement. Let's see how beautiful it is, because it's really gold and pretty. It's pretty in gold. Gold inlaid in gold. Where did that gold come from? Really, where did it come from? So this is a church. This is an altar, Igreja, sanctuary, Porta Delgada. Porta Delgada. Let me pause this. Gina's been doing this. Um, I was like trying to zoom up on this to see if we can see. And so you don't see too much right now. But yeah, you see broken pieces. I'm not going to save that because that's going to take up too much of my memory on here. So let's go back to it. That's the church. And the darker it got, the more active they became. The more active they became, the darker it got. Because look where we are down here on the timeline. We're almost to the end. And look at, it got darker and darker. Yes, like tiny cubes. Absolutely. If they're tiny cubes, what on earth are they doing inside this church? Ask yourself this. Why does this specific church have a camera that you are allowed to rewind backwards? Most of the churches on the webcam taxi, you cannot go backwards. I mean, you can with the St. Peter's Square, I think. You can look at that. I think we can. But inside the church where this type of activity is taking place, it's like you're allowed to see it. You're allowed to see it. Someone said they're harvesting energy inside of here. And what if they are harvesting energy? They do look like little black cubes. It is fascinating. And you found it inside the church. This really is like, look, you can see the walls moving. I mean, it's not just the camera trying to focus. No, it's something much greater going on. Something much, much greater. Because other webcams don't do this. They don't. At night, no. They got crisp, clear images. They don't got live activity like this, the walls moving like this. It's like they have taken over the walls. Look how packed they are. So if walls could talk, is everything living, even inanimate objects? Really, ask yourself, are even inanimate objects living? Like a purgatory? I hope these aren't trapped spirits. I really hope they're not. I hope they're not trapped spirits inside of here. They're so clustered together. Oh my gosh, that's not a good thought. It really isn't. If they were trapped spirits inside of this building, oh, there's faces and stuff. There's no telling what you're going to see, but this is the other dimension. I would like to say this. When I took pictures of the ships, you see this like this matter, a smooth matter in between. Oftentimes on the ships, when they would emerge from the other dimension, that was on them too. Oh my gosh. It's like it's so wild. Look at this. The whole entire walls. They're moving. And you will not find a single pattern. It's constant movement. Constant movement. We're looking at the other dimension. We are. And look how dark that one is. Some of these is really dark and some of them aren't. Well, it could be because of the light below. Where is the light? I can't even see the light. Okay, here's would be the light right here. But, if they were cubes, yeah, it kind of does look like there's faces and stuff. And, okay, if this was the sky, now you know that you've taken pictures. Look how that is really lit up. How you've taken pictures of the night sky, and you see all this wiggling around, and it's like multicolors. What if these were like multicolors? Would this but this don't even look like them. This looks like so many different, what are they doing? Most do not zoom in to look for this stuff. Oh yeah, well, I'm so thankful we got, the capability to zoom in, because something is really strange. And it's literally, the other dimension has, it's trying to cover up the whole entire building. When I say the other dimension, this is the other dimension right here. This stuff right here, let me zoom up on it. So you see this stuff right here? It's the smeary stuff, like a layer, like a thin layer. It is like part of the other dimension, even like right here, and it's a covering of them. But you see it can't cover them all, but it's like it's all over here too. It's like a network. It's this is a church, inside of a church at night. And the darker it got inside the church, the more the walls came to life. That's what we're saying. The more these walls started moving, and the more the other dimension, my eyes started hurting all of a sudden. The other dimension started coming through even more so. And this is what it looks like during the daytime. Hold on one second, you all. We got to see what it looks like in the daytime. Yes, we do. It's beautiful, ordained in gold. This is what it looks like. And when we zoom up on the walls, you can see they got, there's no moving products right here. There's nothing moving. Nothing. It's actually got engraved carvings and everything. But as nighttime falls, the walls are going to come to life. And you can see down here. Well, let me zoom you up down here. Looks like this. So you can see how it is, it's like this, and then it goes to night. I'm going to show you how it looks right when it starts getting night. The walls aren't moving that much. There's not too much activity on the walls because, actually, let's think about this. Actually, the other dimension is already smashed into the wall. See, it's already embedded in it. I'm thinking as the nighttime comes and it gets darker and darker, more of these come out of the walls, out of the the engravings. More of these come out, pushing out that layer to the other dimension. That's what I think happens, because this looks like it's packed. The other dimension is packed into, it's embedded in all the walls. Let's look on the other side. It's embedded into the walls. And it hasn't completely allowed all the other things. See it? Yeah, it hasn't allowed them all to come out yet because it's still daylight. So they still have a layer of the other dimension on them, and it's not time for them to come out. You can see how thick it is up here. It's thick all the way down. until the nighttime comes. See how thick it is up here? So that's the thing. They're hiding behind the layer of thickness of the other dimension. And the darker it gets as the time passes, more of that layer starts coming off. So let's see if that's a good hypothesis. Let's bring it all the way over. Let's bring it to here. We're going to see some spinning. We've took it around 4 or 5 hours. Okay, some of the layers are coming off now. They're coming out just like a cocoon, spider web and stuff. Oh, wow. It's like they're making even more of it. It's really, they're making even more of it. You think that they have like some kind of a plasma-like substance on it? Do you? Because they could. Oh my, they just pushed it right out. And as it came out, they came out. There's like millions of them. There's millions of them, you all. Millions of these in the walls inside this place right there. Is it just in this one place? And or is it in the whole entire building? Really think about it. Could it be in the whole entire building? Because we could see these. Remember, I think we could see some of those pretty good. Look, it's like if they were, it's not nice to say, if they were bodies, if they were souls and they were trapped in the walls and they just couldn't get out. Because you know what they did. You know what they did? I don't know if they did it here, but you know down in the tunnels, they took the bones and they made their walls and their towers. I hope this ain't the spirits of them now, like something like that in the walls. It's like, oh my gosh. I hope it's not. Yeah. I can't help it. Yeah, if this creeps you out, you gotta leave. There's something going on here and it's not natural. It's not natural, you all. It's not. I've seen the other dimension in cameras, and I just want you to know what this is going to look like. See, I've got it on 0.25. Let's put it up to the normal speed, and it's really going to move. Okay, this is constant. Constant movement. This is the normal speed. I've never seen anything like this in my life. I haven't. And of course, my little hypothesis, my little theory could be totally wrong. And this is nothing but an effect of the camera. That's all. An effect of the camera. But my intuition is telling me a different story. Perhaps your intuition is telling you a different story, that there's more to what we're seeing than just a camera effect. This is truly like spiritual. Really. Yeah, the cameras pick it up. Look at the floor. No, it ain't on the floor yet. This is the side of the thing. I don't know, you all. Just see this whole entire thing. This is normal speed. Yeah. Yes, Dennis, that's right. Your intuition is telling you the veil is getting thin. We got to pray for strength, to have the strength to face whatever we see. Really, whatever we see, whatever's coming, we've got to strengthen ourselves on the inside and prepare. We do, because we don't want to be found unprepared mentally, really mentally, spiritually, and even physically. We do not want to be unprepared. We got to be spiritually strong, mentally strong. And that's just like, oh my gosh, because it said men's hearts would fail them. Mm. Oh, it's like holographic. Well, I don't think it's holographic, but have you ever looked at a night vision camera and saw it? Now, see, I don't even got to do nothing to it. I don't. Like, this is like normal. We've already probably showed way too much. We did, you all. We showed too much. Yeah, there are people who go around and take pictures. They do, but there you can see the other dimension in here, and this is how fast they're moving. This is their normal speed. I didn't want to make it that fast. I wanted to see if we could see any patterns. Yeah, and I don't mean to sound, I don't want you all to be scared and stuff. I don't. You can be aware, and if you can, like, just compartmentalize and just try not to let it really get to you. It looks like they crawled down the wall. Kind of looks like it. Okay, that's great. Maybe that's what matter actually looks like. Maybe just easier to see in the church because of the energy. That's a good thought. The energy behind the apparently solid. Yeah, like bacteria. Um, what the, yeah. Whew. Now, and really, if you think about it, do you think that there is any possibility whatsoever? Now, let's go to another thought that these could be black and white cubes from another dimension. Because there's like little black and white cubes that fly out of the clouds. They do. Could this, by some strange chance, be something like that? Could it? And somehow they're in this church, the inside of a beehive. Yeah. Well, they're in here, and some of them are behind. What really gets me is some of the pictures of my ships. They have this stuff in them. They do. And you can see only partial parts of a ship, while others, they're out in the open. But I do know this, when I was taking pictures, there was only a few ships at first, and then more and more would come, but they would come from behind the veil, this right here, the other dimension. They kept coming through the other dimension until they all were brought out into the open. Well, we can hope that this is good spirits right here. We can. This is good entities. We really can. They don't look like us. They don't, but they're really moving around. Yeah. Yeah, you are aware. Is there more light coming through in here for some reason? Where did that light come from? Did the light just come through here? because I think it might be getting daylight there. Maybe. Let's see what this looks like in the invert. Okay, this is the inverted mode. And they look really neat in the inverted mode. From a scientific point of view, a scientific observation, this is them. They are black and white from the other dimension, and you can see them all over the place. In the inverted mode, they know we're watching them. Yes, they do. Who else is filming them like this? Are we the only ones filming them like this? Look like they coming out of the hose too. See the little crevices? What is the chances of seeing an alien in a church? I don't know. Oh yeah, they are totally aware of what's going on. It's wild. Oh, Penny Davis, honey, that's okay. We're inside a church. And these came out of the other dimension. The walls are alive, and we looking at it in the inverted mode now. You can see the movement. And when we zoom it out, this is the inside of the church. And light appears to be coming through the church. And I guess maybe when the light comes, they will go back inside the walls and they won't come out. Because it looks like they're trying to go back inside the walls. They kind of look like they want to go back. They're going in the walls over here, I think. There's lots of them. And again, we're inside a church. Wish we could see up on the roof, but we can't really see up there. We can see right here. This is on the kind of toward the ceiling of the church in this inverted mode. You have videos at your house that look similar? Okay, that's great. Yeah. So it could be what matter looks like, right? Quantum. Yes. Now, I think we're in the normal mode now. We're in the normal mode inside the church, and it's like a golden light is shining through. No, I think my computer, it must be 9 o'clock. My computer changed the color of my screen. It turned it to the night mode. So, but still, the inside of the church is getting brighter. And they're still moving. You see lizards? Let me see if I can. Okay, I've made this screen as bright as it can get. Even with it being, look, they're staying within the confines of that. See the middle? They're staying within the confines of inside there, but there looks like there's some on the outside too that's reaching around it. It is kind of cool. It is kind of cool looking at it. But these walls are living. They really are. You can see the rest over here. It's constant changing. They're watching us. Are they also the watchers? Really, is this kind of stuff also the watchers? That why you're not even going to have an excuse to say, well, I didn't, whatever. Yes, you did, because we got all these things right here watching, and they saw you do whatever you did. Observers, yeah, observers. Um, so many of them. Tons of them. I'll probably lose subscribers because of this. But we're only documenting you all. Look down there. This is actually a really pretty church. Let me see if I can get to it. See how pretty it is? It's got really pretty architecture inside of it, and it's the altar Agregra. Excuse me. Is what it is. It looks really pretty. Looks kind of skinny too. There's not much room to move in there at all. It's very narrow. Extremely narrow, but wonder what all the engravings are, you all. My eyes are getting tired, you all. They are. So I'm gonna bring it all the way to practically the end so you can see there is probably going to be sunlight sometime soon. It's just so much of it. I am going to go. I am. And thank you all for tuning in. And it's something to think about, but I've never seen anything like this. And I really don't feel that it is a digital effect. I happen to believe in the other dimension. I know that there's more than this dimension that we live in, and so do a lot of other people. And this appears to be another dimension, but inside a church, which is rather interesting. Really interesting it is from a documentation point of view. Thank you, moderators. And it's okay. Yeah, please give this video a thumbs up. Thank you, Applebrooks Honey. If there's any other moderator on here, thank you, because this is really cool. It is. Yes, good night, everyone, and thank you. So, hello, wherever you are in any part of the world. Hello, from my heart to yours.